we often hear this claim that atheists killed more people in the 20th century than Christians ever did. You know, and arguably this could be true. Let's for a second here say that Stalinist Russia was atheist, and even give him Hitler was an atheist. We know this is complete bullshit, but let's for a second give it to him. And let's give him Tell and all these other people that like to claim. What do we have? We have 100 years of all these deaths. The far away, all the history of Christianity. Of course, the Christians are completely disingenuous liars here. They're completely ignoring something, purposely ignoring something. Two things, actually. And it's obvious. And I think even most Christians realize it when they make this argument. At least those that make the argument. If you're going to make this argument, you already know you're lying. And yes, this is a harsh thing to say. But there's an obvious, massive flaw with their argument to them. First, the population is a lot larger now. Think about that. How big is the population right now? Even attacking a small city caused a lot more deaths than Christians would have done it a couple thousand years ago, a couple hundred years ago. Second of all, weapons. Imagine the amount of deaths all the Crusades would have caused if we had the populations of modern day plus the weapons of modern day. It would far outweigh the atheist deaths. And this is a huge problem. You have 7 billion people right now, or close to it. And you want to compare having this many people to having not even a few million people. Especially, even if you just go to the regions, there's a lot more people in the regions. And the weapons nowadays are far more powerful. Tanks, nukes, missiles, bombs. What did you have? You had the Crusades go tear through many countries, looting and pillaging, killing Jews and everyone else that got in their way, killing Muslims. You have the Inquisition, and all these things. So, no, this is completely a meaningless statistic because you're comparing apples to oranges. Plus, if we want to talk about this, let's compare Uganda. Let's compare the child armies that are led by Christians. Let's compare Hitler. Hitler was a Christian, and even if you can argue that he wasn't, the majority of Germans were Christians, and they were convinced to do a lot of these atrocities. But it's not meaningful. The number killed ultimately doesn't really matter. The only point to bring up here is that atheists aren't perfect. Atheists can do bad. We already know that. But we don't claim to be perfect. We don't claim to have this perfect moral system that Christians claim to. And yet we see time and time again in Uganda, Nazi Germany, the Inquisition, Crusades, that Christianity isn't enough to stop violence. It doesn't disprove either. But it goes to the problem of this so-called claim. You can't point at what Christians have done or what atheists have done and say that this is proof that this system's wrong. You can't. If you agree or disagree, comment below, but I've never seen many people point out that the numbers you're comparing apples and oranges when you're comparing number of deaths.